for promoting good exposure for our young brothers. And having been to a wake just 2 weekends ago of a 17-year-old who was shot in Roslindale, and seeing this baby lying in a coffin thinking, we have so much work to do. And so I'm just honored and so thrilled that we have Brother Courtney, Brother Rich, Malik, Tyrell, Sean, and AJ here this morning just to share what this organization is about. And I know my brothers and sisters at Grace have supported this organization in the past, and my spirit just calls me to say we can do more. We can do more. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First, I would just like to say heartfelt greetings from the Concerned Black Men of Massachusetts, the entire PRI family, and especially our young men at our Saturday Academy. Thank you for the invitation and for the opportunity to be here today.
Yep. I'd like to echo Brother Courtney's appreciation. With all due respect, we really understand the meaning of the human family, the human condition. And while we focus on the young men in terms of their self-identity and developing that sense of positive self-identity as part of that journey through life, we hope that they understand that this is part of the process. That while we may still be extended members of the same family, and as we help them to understand we're all part of one race, which is the human race, but we also appreciate the diversity of all of our family members that makes it an enriching experience as we go through this life's journey. So the Paul Robeson Institute, as Brother Courtney referred to it, PRI, is affectionately known as PRI as a way to focus the young men's energy and attention on an individual that we felt epitomized the diversity of talents that a lot of our young people may display. And so we'll let them talk about what those talents were, but the founders of the Concerned Black Men of Massachusetts Incorporated were 10 men of color, black men, who at the time in the 1980s saw similar conditions that were existing where the viability of the black male was in question, and also the integrity of the family was in question. Some of us know about the reports by Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan that goes back a number of years. And so that brought to fruition the vision that the founders had of finding a place where young men could feel safe and also be challenged in order to achieve their full potential and have the ability to model behavior that would develop these sense of positive self-identity. So I think what Brother Courtney is going to have us do is provide you a little bit of insight. We meet every Saturday, and every Saturday the young men go through a process. My original home is in the Episcopal Church. I was baptized in the Episcopal Church, being born in Central America, and I've journeyed throughout different faiths and belief systems, but ultimately understanding that there's still one true creator. And in that context, what we try to do with these young men is give them something to focus on. So we go through this catechism, and the catechism, if you will, is what gives them the ability to understand how they will guide themselves throughout the week. And you hear within this catechism, if you will, a set of principles that we hold each other accountable to, and they hold themselves accountable to. And so while we may be the elders, if you will, in the community to some degree with regard to their perspective, we stand no higher in position than they do. So when they step into the circle, as we call it, and they lead, we follow. And Scripture tells us a child shall lead, right? So the reality is we understand they're really the leaders, and we are just trying to emulate or play the role so that they can assume the position that's rightly theirs. So I don't know if you guys want to Hotep?
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 Do it, baby. How do you say Hotep on a Saturday? Yeah.
Put your shirt down, Sean. So say it the right way.
Hotep?
Hotep.
So Hotep is a means by which when the young men hear this command, everyone stands and stops. And so it's a respectful way of saying your attention is now required, and you need to pay attention to the next level of instruction that you'll receive, regardless if it's the oldest, the eldest brother, who's 93 years old, Reverend Moore, or the youngest among us, who I think used to be Sean. What grade are you in now? Fourth grade. So we have second graders. So Hotep means we all stop, pay attention, and get ready for the next instruction. So what are we getting ready to do? Circle up? Okay. And Sean, you want to lead?
Umoja means unity.
Umoja means unity.
Umoja means unity.
Umoja means unity.
Kuji Jakalia
Kuji Shakalia
means self-determination.
means self-determination.
Ujima,
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 cut to work and responsibility.
collective work and responsibility.
Ujama,
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 cooperative economics.
cooperative economics.
Nia means purpose.
Nia means purpose.
Kumba means creativity.
Kumba means creativity.
Imane,
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 Imane
Imane
means faith.
means faith.
Proud,
A proud, young,
black
black
man.
man.
I aspire to become
I aspire to become
a
a proud
black man.
black man.
I will achieve my goals by
I will achieve my goals by
loving my God,
loving my God, myself,
and my people,
and my people.
striving for excellence,
Striving for excellence,
knowing my enemies are ignorance,
knowing my enemy is ignorance,
suppressing my enemies with knowledge.
suppressing my enemies with knowledge.
For I
For I
am
am
a
a proud
young
young
black man.
black man.
So on the opening is what's called the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles, and those are principles that are typically celebrated during Kwanzaa, right? A traditional, customary, African-American originated time period that is not religiously focused but culturally focused, that was founded by a member of our community who saw these 7 principles, and that's what the young men chanted. So these Swahili words gives them some context to being African-centered, but also realizing that it's connected to their American identity, because again, it gives them some guidance of these 7 principles. As you see, we started off with Umoja, which is unity, but we finished with faith, because all things are centered within faith, and faith without works is correct. So the reality is we've moved to the next stage then, where the young men start to understand who the true enemy is. And who's your enemy? Ignorance. And what do you do with that enemy?
Suppress it with knowledge.
Okay. So the greater understanding is that they aspire to become, again, these positive representation of what hopefully they'll be as leaders. So these hopefully will be the leaders that will move our young people to that next stage. So we start off typically with 3rd graders through 5th grade, which is called the Paul Robeson Academy. Then we have 6th through 8th grade, which is called Boys to Men. And then we have 9th through 12th grade, which is called D2. And D2 represents 2 of the individuals who were the founders, who were both MDs and PhDs, Dr. Smith and Dr. Williams, in the Concerned Black Men. And so that's the highest stage. So these young men right now represent Paul Robeson Academy, and these young men represent our D2, and actually, he's an alumni.
All right.
So I think what we're going to do is maybe let them see the video, and then we can open up with
Absolutely.
the young men speaking.
Absolutely. And there's an open chair up here, and it's not going to be open much longer. A critical part of our success is clearly dependent on our parents, working together with the parents. So we have a parent here, and if she would be kind enough to join us right up front. So we're gonna get started.